Good morning, good morning. Happy day after Valentine's Day. Or if you're in person, those of you who are watching in person, happy Valentine's Day in real time. None of you can be because this doesn't go up till 2:30 in the morning, my time. Okay. I got a bunch of stuff here. A bunch of stuff. I went down a massive rabbit hole of another person who does this. I think it's called Art by M. She's this little tiny girl that just graduated from college. Part of her videos are her still in college. I think it's called Art by M or Collage by M. She's in the UK, I think. She does really cute stuff too. Really cute stuff. And I think I follow her on Instagram, and I've known of her for a while, but I had forgotten about her. Anyhow. All right. I got a handful of stuff here. I printed some stuff in black and white to get some grayscale stuff for maybe more boulders or clouds or whatever. So yes, I do like that. Then I printed that same thing. No, this is different. This is some of the blues because we're doing water today. This is some of the blues from Crown Jewels journal, my Basquiat one, because there's part of a crown right there. There's oyster written right there. Some of it is just different color blues. We're going to use that today. So you could paint the paper. You can take pictures of the paper you've already printed or scan them. All kinds of ways you can come up with your paper. You can buy it. You can do whatever. Then I accidentally printed that one twice, so we have 2 pages of water. Now I'm going to put in a video of me trying to make my own alphabet because I just couldn't wait. So it's a little clip of me making a couple letters, and that is so much fun. So much fun. And it's paper from Crown Jewels, again, Basquiat stuff. You'll recognize some of the colors and things like that in there. Okay, so here is the top of my letters. I got it as far as L this morning so far. I think I just showed you me printing like 4 of them. But, I mean, like, there's the red and yellow McDonald's one. There's the green tile one. This is the purple oyster Pez. I mean, it was so much fun. So much fun. So now what I have done is I printed my wording, and guess what? I kind of did it both ways. I printed it, but I print what I wrote. So, and I was just trying to do simple statements. And this is, I'm treating this kind of like a field guide for me to remember how to do some stuff. When I'm 80 at the nursing home teaching a collage class, this is how I'll do it. Oh, there's I was like, my trash bag's missing, but it's still here. But I kind of want this not to be a complete and utter straight edge, even though it is a straight edge, but it's still a torn straight edge, theoretically. Come on. Oh, shoot. Now I just ripped the whole thing. This is my water one. Sometimes it's hard to rip just a narrow little strip with a plastic ruler. Okay, that's good enough. And what did I write on the water? Can't even read it. It's weird color inks together. I wrote H2O, blues, grays, greens, and I just did bullet points on this one. Textures, random shape. First bullet point is blues, grays, and greens. Second is texture. Third is random shapes. So that is going to go here, which I'm going to have to make it smaller so it fits. just ripped it some more. I'm going to have to glue that down really well. All right, so now here's my Mountain and Rock one. Mountain and Rocks. Moody grays, again with texture on the paint or a added crayon, spelled wrong, crayon layer adds dimension. I think I'm going to use scissors on this guy. But I really want it just a tiny bit of a reference, like a pocket guide. That's what this is. It's a pocket guide to collage with tips and tricks learned from Clover Robin in the book that I bought years ago. 5 or 6 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. I'm cutting out because I just did some swooshes on Procreate and then wrote on it in white for this particular one. I kind of wanted them to be color coded, color coordinated a little bit. I don't know if this one's going to fit either. I have to, yeah, I'm going to have to trim this. I don't want to do this. I kind of wanted this jagged edge. Okay. And I'm kind of coordinating the colors with this sheet too. All right, so let's glue that in. I think I started talking yesterday about there might be a gap in coverage coming up. And I think I forgot to complete my statement because my brain is so scatterbrained right now. Because I'm trying to do, I finally wrote out a list of things. I have a column. Last beach visit, quilt retreat visit, friend visit. It's like, okay, now you need to do this, this, and this for these, this, pack this, take your, because I always have a paper copy of my plane tickets and hotel and car rental because I ended up buying 2 sets of cars one time because I panicked and couldn't find it on my phone, and I'm never doing that again. So I print it out and have it on my phone in case I panic again, don't know what I'm doing, and get stressed by the people that say, you can't use a debit card to rent a rental car. Like, I only have a debit card. Well, we can't use it if you don't show them your return reservation. Some stupid law, which I'm sure some stupid idiot in Trump's realm doesn't even care about correcting and changing because they all have private planes. Ooh. Okay, this one, I didn't get the colors so right, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going forward. We're going to do better with our field guide / what did I call this? Like Spark Notes. Remember Spark Notes? We didn't have, we had a yellow and black little book you could buy, but you weren't allowed to use it. My husband's daughter, she used it, Spark Notes and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so now we're doing water. Then I woke up early this morning. I hope I didn't just blow out your eardrums. I actually made moving parts for South Carolina. This was so difficult. I don't know how to do it yet, and I just took a picture of the paper to make the shape of the state, which in hindsight is going to show up now because it printed a little bit different. This was so difficult. I don't know if I'm going to put it together today or not. Depends on how much time I have after this. But this could be my letters. Oh, I just love this. And of course you could do these in any shape. Cliff Notes. This is my Cliff Notes for collage. I think I might put the letters right here. Just so I may not show all of the process for every single one of these things that I want to do, but So some of them may end up in here without me showing you. Although today I have a clip of how I started this. Just because, I mean, it's kind of repetitive once you get a process down. It's getting that process down that I'm working on. And it seems to revolve around texture, color, shape. Okay. I love this. All right. Back to water. All right, let's see how she does some of her water shapes. She being Clover Robin. I noticed the little girl, well, she does too. She cuts out chunks of blue. Now, I have thought in the past that you did it like, am I showing this off it? Yeah. That you cut out this entire shape. But this is 2 pieces and this is 1 piece. So you can do like how she showed it here. This is all her pieces to make this little guy. That helped me tremendously when I was trying to do South Carolina. Trying to see if she has an actual... See, overlay different hues of blue, gray, and green papers for a frothy wild sea. I'm trying to figure out if she's got an actual... Cut the blue paper in these shapes to make an ocean. Ooh, look at that piece of paper. Hey. Some of the same colors, but I mean, that is just... that looks like a lot of Neocolor 2s. Or maybe paint with a lot of white. Dry paint brush ran over it. I don't think she has an actual page that says cut this shape for water. So here's her black and white paper. There's my black and white paper. Now the little girl, Collage by E.M. Something like that. Art by M.E.M. She has scissors that are small like this, but they look like children's scissors that have blunt tips. I'm like, how the heck is she getting such precise, tiny pieces with those scissors? That was blowing my mind, watching her. Okay, I guess we're going to have to figure out our water by ourselves. No big deal. We can do that. In fact, okay, maybe we should. We're going to cut some waves and some lakes and some ponds. It was 36 degrees this morning when we woke up. Thank goodness the rain has stopped. Otherwise, we would have a little bit of ice out there. See, that's not blue. But it might also depend on what color paper you put it on. Oopsie. Now, I'm just cutting out chunks because I might just like try to draw a boat and put it in chunks. Put it on top of the chunks, just as an example of this is water. When I'm at the nursing home and people are saying, what the heck is this? I'm like, it's water, duh. Now, I did see that other little girl. And when I say a little girl, just because she's very young. Very young. Cute as a button. But she has a lot of boat pictures. But she has a couple things of waves. She's also constructed like these little vignettes. And she prints the whole thing like on paper and you order it. And then you fold it to get it together. But she has little things like this too. Like waves. They're a little bit smaller than that, obviously, I guess. That's where you should have a surfboat. Surfboard. Hello. Oh, I tell you, my brain is messed up right now. Oh, man. I'm like, okay, I need to write all this stuff down. I got too much going on right now. All of it fun and all of it personal. But it's like, I can't. I can only focus on one thing at a time. Three is not my forte anymore. My sister and I talk about that a lot. Trying to work and do 2 and 3 different tasks at a time. So I can't do that anymore. I used to be able to do that. Can't do it anymore. And the little girl, M, uses an actual, real, everyday glue stick. Like, okay, she's using the same supplies we are. Okay, the tide is coming in. I think I'm going to cut some of this off. And I don't like how this looks. I think I'm going to take it off. And I could also, like here, add maybe not white this, but white Neocolor too. And kind of like give it some spray on the waves. It's just according to what is your taste. Can I take this off? Oof, no. All right, I might glue something on top of that. Oh, you know what would... No, I was going to add ocean washi tape. No, back off, lady. Back off. Although, here is my wave washi tape right here. Can we add a little washi? No. And it doesn't look right under with this pink behind it because it's really a thin one. All right, now I need some paper that I can write on. If only I knew where some paper was. Okay, I could use one of these. Is there any glue in here? Wow, there's a great piece right there. It's got the lines of the Midori book with watercolor on top of it. Oh, that's a good one too. I don't want to take that part. I'm learning to not do the backs of stuff, just in case I really like it. Oh, here's my little sailor man. Oh! Okay, let's just pull one out. This is like Midori paper, so it's thin but strong. Now, I have a blue ink pen here. Oh, I have this one. I don't mind. Blues, grays, and greens. That's probably too big, Beth. Depending on body of water. Texture, add texture. Again, depending on the body of water. Random shapes. Okay, now let's see if I can get this close to the same size. Do I have to tear this? No. Do I want to? Yes. Gonna have to take off my bullet points. Note to self, make these things smaller. Ooh, there we go. Okay. I'm gonna glue this down. Then I'm gonna try to add a little bit of white. Now, I just thought of something else. See, here's like tiny little circles, like bubbles in the water that I did with the Neocolor 2s, just barely. You can see them. But like here, adding like wave motion works. But, all right, let's see. Not really sure why I'm doing these in triangle shape, but it doesn't matter. I'm just like cutting out sections of blue. Probably not as much color in some of this that I have here now. Would be better. Although, I don't know, looking at this. And especially, too, like if you're making an owl, say with something with feathers, you're going to cut tiny little strips. So all of this other stuff may not even appear as what it is. It might just, you know, have this tiny little section of blue here, or this tiny little section of green or gray or whatever color. And do I profess to be a expert? Absolutely not. No. It's just what I have observed other people doing, and from this book that I'm using as a reference. Now, I'm wondering, ooh, they have all these new tempera paint sticks. Like, these don't show up as well on this particular piece of paper. They show up a little better there. But like a white Stabilo Woody, what is that? What will that do? Ooh, that makes a little bit better of an impression than a dry Neocolor 2. Here, a boat out there. As my husband likes to say, people that boat on cold days like this, they must really need to get away from their wife. Like, you are so mean. He thinks he's being funny. Oh, I gave him a Valentine's Day card from Gunnar today, which I put a bunch of pictures in it from Gunnar. I think I showed you the card. I actually found that card before I found the card I gave him, which was just a plain, simple one with hearts. But I had a hard time finding anniversary and Valentine's Day cards this year in a physical store. Okay, I think we kind of get the picture of the different things you can do. Same thing that you can do with water, you do with rocks and clouds, and kind of feeling my way around this thought process slowly, but hopefully, surely. All right, so now I have done letters. I did water. I did a tree. We did rocks. I didn't even have that one on here. Okay. This is my note to myself so I don't forget what I want to do. I'm going to put in the beginning. Prompt list. Prompt list can take all different forms, even a Post-it. I really like this as a study guide, as a reference guide. I love the letters. Love the letters. That's a little bit more difficult. If you're a Procreate person, this is, I mean, you might be able to tell how I did it off the screen. But I drew a letter with a paintbrush, kind of like a thicker paintbrush. And then I put another, for lack of a better word, another screen on top of it. The next layer on top of that, I put I take that back. My picture of my Basquiat picture was underneath the painted letter. And then I took the eraser button and erased around the letter. Because you're doing opposite. You're removing instead of adding. That's maybe how I should say it. Which is opposite of the way my brain works most of the time when it's engaged. And it just kind of takes a minute to get that rhythm. For me, to get that rhythm correct. Because you're going from the bottom up, I guess. Is that right? I don't know. But I will tell you, this is fun. This is fun. Trying to clean up my desk a little bit. I don't know how that little girl is not the right word. She's a young woman. Young being the opportune word here, but she's still a young woman, not a little girl. All right. Kind of get some stuff sent to the sides here. But how long is my video? 25 minutes? Oh, tomorrow's Saturday. I try to make a longer video on the weekends. Maybe I'll go in the back and try to do South Carolina. Ooh. How did I get two of these? Oh, this one needs to go back to the beach. Somehow both of my yellow scissors got here. But that little girl, young woman, was using child scissors that had like blunt tips so they don't cut themselves. How is she using those to precision cut all this stuff? At least that's what they look like. This is a quick version of the shape of the state of South Carolina. I should just speed this up. Well, I'm going to do it in real time. You guys speed it up if you want to. I don't have any of the actual bays, like Charleston is not dug out correctly, but it's just the generic shape of South Carolina. Sort of. Trying to get the light off. It's going to be kind of hard because this is actually a photocopy of this. Now, I was trying to actually cut out. This is where the actual shape of stuff like water doesn't really matter. You just kind of cut out a shape. And I cut out a shape big enough to go underneath. Because we have water, obviously, the width of the East Coast. So I was kind of doing it like that. Then I cut out what are those other, these little, I cut out some sand from another Basquiat one. And I've just cut out a couple landmarks. Not a lot, but a couple that are pertaining to like my South Carolina. Woo, I didn't get all the white off. And this is just regular copy paper. You might have different results with different paper, handmade papers, depending on what you paint them with. Now, this is supposed to do that. But when I was making it on Procreate, you have to remember that you're making pieces that you're going to cut up. But they need to kind of be the right size. Like this needs to be the same size as this. That was tricky for me. And as you see, I still didn't get it right. But I think I'm going to glue it because it's moving around. And I still have a little bit of white from my copy paper visible, but I can add color 2s or, whatever to that. Okay, this needs to go like this. So, kind of like that. And then maybe I just do that. Okay. Now, this is the shape, sort of Lake Murray. Lake Murray is very long, made with 2 rivers because it's a man-made lake. They dammed it right here. And the Broad River and the Catawba River? Saluda River, Broad River. But that's where I live. This was not easy. And after I made it, I'm like, oh, that's way too intricate to cut. So there's going to be a little bit of a white border. And I had some gaps like up in the upper state. Like, what am I going to put up here? Because I needed to kind of have some of the gaps filled in. In hindsight, I would not have. And it's in the middle of the state and it doesn't take up quite that much room, but it is a big lake. It has 500 miles of shoreline. Then I was trying to figure out, I need to make my elements sizes that fit on the state that I chose the size of. I was like, ay, this is harder than I thought. Now, I was trying to do it on Procreate. Maybe cutting it and not dealing with that stuff, you'll just do it as you go, is different. I was trying to make this like Rainbow Row in Charleston. And then, because where we live, Columbia, is the capital, I kind of made a state house, minus the bullet holes from the Civil War that are still in it. Now, I do note to self, don't have so much white showing, but that's real tedious. Very tedious. How that little girl, Emily, how she does it is beyond me. How any of them do it. Okay. So the capital is like, this should be like that because Columbia is right smack dab in the middle. Then, and obviously these are not major shapes that I did for houses, but this is my 3rd day into this, and I'm already doing my final exam project. That's how I looked at it. So there's my house. And then I added our beach house, which isn't exactly this color, but it's close. And then I made a palm tree because to probably signify that the whole East Coast is water. And I haven't taken the lesson yet in palm tree shapes, but I winged it. And I just made it one shape instead of like having maybe leaves cut from different colors and tones of green. Because my shape is so small. That's another thing. That lady, my hands are small. And right now my nails are brittle and breaking, so I don't have fingernails per se. But how in the heck do you manipulate these little teeny tiny pieces of paper? And this is a big piece for some of their stuff. Oh, I hear an osprey out there. Okay, so here's my palm tree. Sort of. Go easy with your comments, people. Remember, I'm doing my final exam before I finish course number 1. All self-imposed, but whatever. Then I'm like, okay, this whole upstate is blank. So then I thought, well, let's put a BMW in there since we have a huge BMW factory in the Greenville area. And it may not be there too much longer. If our current president has his way and all the employment that it brings, massive amounts of employment. So I did that. And they gave our governor a BMW when they first opened that plant. And I had one, the exact same model. But unfortunately, it was wrecked. A lady and I tried to get through a light at the same time, but she was coming from the opposite direction. And she hit the corner of my car and spun me all the way around. And that was wild, literally. That's another thing. How do you keep your hands from getting so sticky when you're doing these little tiny pieces? I'm impressed with these ladies. Delving into the technique and all. It's like, painting the paper is fun. Getting shapes out of it all and creating stuff, that's like a whole nother ball of wax. But it is fun. You're back in kindergarten. Except in kindergarten, you just cut out ladybugs. Here we're cutting out icons from our state. But I do love a map. And this is kind of like map building to me. Now, oh dear, see? My hands are so sticky. I almost pulled my house up. So, very, very childlike and very, very generic, but there's South Carolina. And then I thought of another book that I have. I actually have a couple. Okay, yeah, here. I obviously like this thought process and this look This is another lady. Now, she has a little bit different approach. Same process. But I love her animals. Let me just look at the inside of this. I love it. But I mean, hello. I've been following her. Oh, God, look at those guys. On the hair. On Instagram and YouTube forever. I don't even know what a stoat is. I guess it's some kind of... Oh, God, I love him. But she's adding... sorry. She's adding a lot more texture to her paper and making it more fanciful. Oh, look at this chameleon. I love him. Oh, a hippopotamus. If there's a beaver in here, I'm going to freak. We have a beaver. We have many beavers in our lake. Oh, there's a pelican, though. Ooh, I might try to do him. See, this is ledger paper under here, and then she's just done stuff to it. A wolf. A gorilla. Oh, I love the giraffes. Camel, goose. Oh, the crab and the shrimp or lobster. Oh, love them. Kangaroo. Ooh, peacock. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love the fish, too. Okay, we might be having to add more to our list here of stuff we want to do. Lemur. Okay, no beaver, but that's okay. Then, I mean, I've had this book forever, too. Don't tell me you have a book on Instagram. 2018. This lady's from London also. But she does a lot of commercial work. So does Clover Robin. But now this is a tiny bit different. But they're still cut out pieces. Like, these are all different maps. But there's cut out pieces. Cut out pieces. Cut out pieces. These look a little bit more drawn and painted. A little bit higher. Okay. It's a combination of both. Like painting. But then this, the mountains and the water, could be just pieces of paper. And then she's photographed it and printed it. I think it's a good combination of both. I've seen a lot of illustrators, just because I love that they might paint the background and then put it into a Adobe Acrobat or Adobe high-end editing thing and then manipulate it and then add stuff on top of it. Remove. But this is a little bit, see here, these look almost like they may have been cut and placed and then scanned and then the other people added in. So this is a little bit combination of a couple styles. But tomorrow we're going to make Egypt. No, we're not. Just kidding. Anyhow, it is so much fun what you can do if you just kind of let loose. I need to glue this in. So maybe I might call this South Carolina #1. And maybe at the end, maybe I'll put it in a couple pages before the end. And then maybe try to do it again and see how much my technique has improved. Or maybe not. But I do know it's fun. Now, I hope this holds up because a lot of times I get a lumpy left. And I'm doing this before the left gets built. But we're going to go for it. Oops. Fun. This weekend is the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live. I can remember being in high school on Monday mornings. I don't know what made me think of this. Monday mornings, kids would come in and say, "Oh, did you watch Steve Martin on Saturday Night Live?" And it was brand new then. And I'm like, my mom won't let us stay up that late. I'm like, "Oh, your mommy won't let you stay up that late?" I'm like, no. Not telling them the truth because I probably could not have stayed up that late because I'm a wuss when it comes to, I'm not a night person. Anyhow, but I am a collage person. Hello. March into collage. So much fun. So much fun. Thanks for watching as always. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.